Hi guys, Super Secret Tech here. Doing another 2 out of 3 standard match. I went ahead and took the Ghost Quarters out and added more colored mana. It's already looking like it's in my favor from doing that. Um, I think that's what the deck needed. And so we'll see how it goes. Again, this one's unscripted as well. I have no idea what he's playing. I just threw a standard 2 out of 3 matchup. Um, hopefully we'll get to see the full gameplay. Um, if you like the mats or are interested in learning more about serial killers and the clan itself, feel free to go on our website. It's www.serialkillers.org, and it's with a Z at the end. I'll also put it on the Twitch channel, uh, the website that you can go to, and link it in my bio. That way, it just makes it easier if you guys want to check it out that way as well. Um, There could be a couple of different things he's playing right here. Cavern of Souls with green white and Farseek. I'm thinking Reanimator. Um, it might not be, but it's a pretty solid choice. It's either that or green white red mid range, Naya mid range. I'm gonna go ahead and pay the 2, just because if he does like another uh, cantrip on spells, I can counter it. This seems like one of the decks that I'm gonna just have to do that against. They are out there that you just have to come up with answers for them. The other thing is worst case scenario, I can Izzet Charm discarding 2 cards and hopefully get a combo piece going. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Alright, lands. I'm going to discard the island. One other card. And the Steam Vents, just because these 2 don't come into play tapped. And perfect. I got my 5th mana. Um, I'm going to hold off on the Oblivion Ring, just because I have a feeling that he's going to... I mean, he's down to 1 card in hand. And I can either burn this turn one of the creatures, or if he plays like 2 more creatures, or another big creature, I can just Verdict on my turn and save the burn spell. The other thing that's nice is that this is a very control-ish hand. Yeah, see, this is perfect. Go ahead and let him attack me. I'm going to take the 4, and then I'm going to Supreme Verdict on my turn. And it puts all the pressure back on him, because he has no cards in hand. I have huge card advantage. Um, Supreme Verdict in this case is a 3 for 1. And then, I'm plus 5 cards. Um, I'm not sure how familiar all of y'all are with the card advantage. Basically, you look at the number of cards I just took out with 1 card. So I took out 3 cards of his for 1 card of mine. Um, and then how I get plus 5 cards is because I have 5 cards in my hand to hit 0. Um, and things like that are huge in Magic. They're really, really important to understand and grab. I'm going to leave the red open to bluff with, and I'm going to go ahead and curse. Um, Against aggro, it's still really good, even if you don't get the possibility storm, because it just slows him down. That way he can't, pump out 2 or 3 creatures in a turn. He can only put out 1 creature a turn, and it's a lot easier for me to deal with. Um, the other thing that's nice with my current hand is if I don't draw a possibility storm and just lock the game out, I can play Sphere of Safety, and then he has to pay, 2 mana just to attack me with 1 creature. Um, and his creatures are relatively small, so that turns out to really help solidify my position in the game. With this, I'm going to go and play the Sacred Foundry untapped, or I mean tapped, and go ahead and get out my Sphere. And, I'll let him hit me for 1 this turn. I'm okay with that. Um, the other thing is I really want to save Oblivion Ring for something bigger. You know, burn I might use on the Elvish Visionary, but I'm okay with taking 1 point of damage. That's, you know, 1 point of damage is never going to kill you. Some people, like, get really, really defensive about their life total early on, and that can cost you games later on down the road. I'm looking for a longer game. You know, the longer the game goes on, the better it is for me. And so I have no problem sitting and waiting and taking, you know, I might take 2 or 3 turns. You know, now with the Rancor on it, I'm probably not going to take 2 or 3 turns. I'm probably going to kill it after this turn. Um, just because I don't want to take 3 per turn. I was fine with taking 1 per turn. Possibility Storm. Um, Alright, this is good game right here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Possibility Storm. Actually, I'm going to cast Burn first and blow up his creature. Then I'm going to cast Possibility Storm. The reason I'm doing it in that order is I want to make sure I kill his creature. The Rancor is insignificant at this point because he's never going to be able to cast it. Alright, now I have Possibility Storm, which means he can't cast anything for the rest of the game. And now I have all the time in the world to win. And kind of what I was saying in one of my earlier videos, you know, I'm going to kind of just see where he goes from here. You know, if he doesn't quit and he sticks it out, I might give him a clan invite. You know, if he just quits right here, um, it's not going to happen. That's something we're pretty strict about in our clan. Is we really don't want people quitting Magic. You know, we want people that are going to stick around and play the game. We are pretty heavy in two-headed giant, three-headed giant, and free-for-all. Um, I, I don't think he understands the combo. Um, I might have to explain it to him. This combo is really confusing if you've never played with it before. Um, just a friendly, you know, heads up that hey, you can't cast that spell. Just to let him know that, you know, if he's trying really hard to cast it, and it's not letting him, just to let him know that hey, you just can't. It's just a friendly thing to let people know about. Because not everybody understands when you play you know, a unique 2-card combo. You know, this isn't like rocking the tourney tables or anything like that. You know, Curse, Storm isn't everywhere. I just happen to really like the card interactions, and it really fits my playstyle. Um, and I find that I do a lot better with cards that fit my playstyle than I do with cards that don't fit my playstyle. Um, the Sphere, I'm going to go ahead and play, just because I can possibly play 2 cards off of Oblivion Ring, and we'll just kind of see what we get here. You know, if we get an Oblivion Ring, it's not the greatest, but I can hit my Sphere with it, because Sphere doesn't do anything anymore. What I'm really looking for is that card right there, which is wonderful. A Symbol of Allegiance gets my kill out. You know, now there's an end in sight. It'd have been great if that was another Possibility Storm, and then I could hit O-Ring into 2 Assembled Legions, because it stacks. The Possibility Storm stacks for you, and they can't cast anything, no matter how many stacks you have out. So it's good for you, horrible for them, which I like that kind of card advantage. Little intricacies like this are huge in deck design. Again, I just really don't think he's understanding the combo. You just can't cast anything for the rest of the game. All he's doing is filtering through his deck and making me click his revealed cards over and over and over and over. Again, just a friendly reminder, just to let him know that, hey dude, you can't do that. I do the same thing in a paper tournament. You know, if someone casts that and possibility storm triggers and he went through it, and I'd be like, hey, just so you know, because you have, you know, Curse of Exhaustion targeting you. And he conceded. Um, versus his deck, Izzet Charm's really not too hot. I'm probably going to board in Flames of the Firebrand against him too. Actually, I like Firemane versus him. I haven't boarded in Firemane yet. I had to change my strategy from my deck tech because Chandra's Phoenix is not an M13 and it is an M14, which is about to be released, but it's not released yet, so I can't use the card. So for the meantime, we're using Firemane Avenger. This triggers really well with Assembled Legion, but it's also big enough where it can block any of his creatures, and they're just going to die to it, which I'm perfectly happy with. Here, he might just concede the match. It happened to me before, where as soon as they realize that, you know, I have the combo, they're like, I have no answer to that, I'm just going to concede the match. Um, and it's unfortunate that people don't play it out, because, I mean, y'all saw last video, an aggro deck, you know, beat my face in. Now, part of it was bad mana, and I think I had that fixed. Um, I did +1 Sulphur Falls, I did +1 Cliff Trop Retreat, and I did +1 Plains, and took out my 3 Ghost Quarters. And, you know, my colors look a lot better. Oh, he's continuing on. Let's see how it goes. This 2-card hand, or 2-land hand is completely keepable, unless I just don't draw anything else. But I have Searing Spheres, I have Burn, you know, I have all kinds of goodies for the pile. You know, it's funny to me when people play with Cavern of Souls and don't play big creatures with it. Like, I kind of see that as a waste. Like, weenie creatures, Cavern of Souls isn't nearly as good in a weenie deck as it is in a, you know, Reanimator or something like that, where the creatures are huge. You know, no one cares about countering a Hamlet Captain, except for maybe an all-counter deck. Um, Here, I think the right play is just to let it go into play tapped, and because you're taking 2 either way, and it gives you another turn to mull it over, and you're saving a spell this turn. You know, unless he pumps it insane, it's the right play. And if he does pump it insane, you know, I'm at 20 life, I can take it. That's the one situation where I wish I would have left it untapped. Um, just because I could have responded to him enchanting it and got rid of the Rancor and the creature. Um, I'm going to go ahead and ditch a Possibility Storm here. I want to save the burn in case he enchants it again or pumps it again. Um, in response to his Farseek, I'm going to go ahead and save a step and kill his creature. Because that Cavern of Souls can't cast an instant off of it. Because it's only colorless mana if they're not a creature. Um, that's another thing. When you're playing a deck with Cavern of Souls, always tap it. Uh, whether you have a creature or not, always use that mana. Unless you have flash creatures in your deck and it's a real threat. Because otherwise, people like me are going to just be like, oh, he tapped wrong, he can't do anything, so I'm going to exploit it. Um, you know, if he'd have tapped the green in the Cavern of Souls, I might not have just burned it right then, because he might have had something, and I might have went ahead and taken that damage. But since he tapped the way he did, I knew I was safe to go for it. Just something always to be mindful is how you tap your mana. Um, Again, it really looks like I just can't keep 2-land hands, no matter how promising they look. And that's unfortunate. I was really hoping with, you know, 5 being my curve out and 25 lands, that 2-land hands wouldn't be a big deal. Alright, this is huge. For the simple reason that I don't have another mana to pay for it. So I'm going to go ahead and burn the Elvish Visionary. just in the off chance that I don't draw a mana this turn. If I draw a mana this turn, fine and dandy. But if I don't, I really don't want to have to deal with two creatures and get it to the point where I'm having to Supreme Verdict and wait another turn. And see, now I'm super happy I did that. Uh, it saved me some temporary damage. I wish I could have done it on the Thalia, but the ability of the Thalia is a state-based effect. So by the time I can, what that means is it's on the card. It's printed on the card, so it's included in the card itself. So I can't target it without that ability hitting. So I don't get a chance to respond to it. And this is just really bad draws. I might have to add Think Twice to the deck, even though I really don't want to play with the card, just to help out with my curve and my mana. There's always a way that you can make it work correctly. And a lot of that's just testing, and that's what we're doing now. Sometimes you don't get it right the first time, and that's okay. No one's perfect. But I think we've come leaps and bounds in 3 games, so I'm pretty happy with that. That card's really good against me, with not having mana. If I had mana, this whole game would be very, very different. I'm going to wait till the attack phase to burn Thalia, just so he doesn't put Rancor on something else. But I have to answer that card immediately, and then after that, I really need to answer the Doomsayer. But I had to answer Thalia first, even though it's not a renewable effect, just because I'm so low in life. And in all honesty, I'm okay with him tapping the Doomsayer, because just about any land I draw, I'm going to be able to Supreme Verdict off of. I might have to pay 2 life, but it'll be worth it. But I mean, he has a good threat position right here. The smart play when you're this far ahead is to not cast anything, because you don't want to overextend, which is exactly what he does. And always do stuff like that in the instant speed phase. There's no reason whatsoever to tap that creature right now. You can do that at the end of my turn, and then, or in response to something. And here we go. Supreme Verdict it is. And then next turn I'm probably going to have to War Leader's Helix, just for the simple fact to get me some life going on. The only other option I have is if he plays a little guy, I can assemble the Legion, but I still have to remember that Rancor is the thing. Brought in Nevermore against me, which means if this goes to a game 3, I'm probably going to take the whole combo out, just because this is pretty much going to stop it. And I don't know what piece he's going to name, but either way. Oh, he named Supreme Verdict, so, kudos. The other option, of course, is Wear and Tear. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the Legion, because he doesn't have a threat on the board, and I doubt he has haste. And the incremental advantage off Assemble the Legion should win me the game. Basically, in this scenario, I'm not going to use War Leader Helix on the player. I'm going to use it on one of his creatures, because that's the bigger threat to me. The player, with Assemble Legion, Talryn, a bunch of the cards that I have, it's, it's just not worth it. We're like here, saving a blocker for Assemble Legion to block a frontline medic, the one that doesn't have trample. Again, I'm going to have to play smart here. I can't just go crazy with it. Especially since I can't cast Supreme Verdict. That's something to be very mindful of with the Nevermore. But here, I'm going to have to wait till he attacks. Then I'm going to have to kill his frontline medic, so it loses Rancor, block the other one with my 1/1 token, just so I don't take any damage. Naturalize, that's a good play for him. Now the other important thing is I'm doing it right now. You know, he doesn't have any cards in hand. And there's that, and there's my Assemble the Legion token to block. You know, now he has Rancor, and I have to be mindful of that. But, you know, I have another Warrior's Helix, so what I'm going to do is wait till he casts Rancor to equip it, and I'm going to burn his Medic in response, and remove his Rancor in the process. Because it's on the stack, so it fizzles, and its ability doesn't trigger. So that's what we're going to do right here. Boom. And, you know, a lot of people might have played Firemane Avenger, but I really want to get rid of that freaking Rancor. It's getting annoying at this point, and, you know, now we're at a good state again. Two ways I can go from here. I can either Possibility Storm, or I can play a Tolerant or a Firemane. I think I'm going to go ahead and play Possibility Storm, just because I have O-Ring in hand, and that gives me a card trigger. You know, I'm not likely to get the O-Ring, but if I get a curse off the Possibility Storm, with the creatures that I have in hand, I should be able to win the game, because they'll trigger either another Firemane or an Aetherling, and that should end the game pretty quickly. That's the other thing with this deck is you really have to play to your odds. You know, it's Possibility Storm's really a very calculating card. It's kind of a red card, but it's almost kind of a blue card. Because if you play with it instead of against it, it's really, really in your favor. And vice versa, it's really, really difficult. And so I like cards like that. They've always been fun to me. And here we're just hoping for a curse. And we got Oblivion Ring, which is fine. Lets me get rid of his Nevermore. Now the bad thing is now any creature I cast is going to give me a Firemane Avenger. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not exactly what I want. Champion the Parish is a good thing to trigger Possibility Storm. I really don't want to see that card in play without removal. Yeah, I'd much rather have him have an Arbor Elf. That's better for me. And that's what I mean about playing to the odds. Like, my deck's built to deal with Possibility Storm where his isn't. So once it's on the board, I just have a better game matchup. Even though it doesn't look like it really hurts him either. Like, too terribly bad. Here, I'm going to go ahead and cast Firemane to get a Firemane. And cycle a Firemane back in. And go ahead and play the Sacred Foundry tapped. There's no point paying the 2 life when you know, if I could have cast 2 of them, it might have been worth it. This is going to play to odds again. Next turn I'm going to play Aetherling because I want that to shuffle back in before I want Talrun back in. Because in this current board state, I want to get the Aetherling, I don't want to get the Talrun. So I'm going to play this one first. Unless, you know, I get an enchantment. If I get enchantment, That's probably getting played first. Yeah, I'm going to play the sphere. Just for the chance that I get a curse. Because if I get a curse, I just win right here. And always, if you're running multiple colors, always try to leave all colors available. And there's curse, so that's pretty much a good game at this point. I'm not even going to attack with Fire Main. I'm going to wait till it's at full power. You know, I'll play Aetherling next turn, get a Fire Main Avenger off of it, and then play Talon on the following turn, and either get a Fire Main or an Aetherling. Anyway, that slices I'm good with. I just like getting this out of the way. That's a me personally thing. I find them very, very annoying. So now I'm going to attack with one Fire Main, since I can block with the other one. It's about to get really sick when I have 3 of them out, with all 3 triggering Battalion. Like, that's pretty absurd. I'm going to do a friendly warning. You know, and a lot of this was his poor choice with Nevermore. Forgetting about my combo. He kind of gave me this game. Even though I would have still been able to answer it if he'd have chose Curse instead of Possibility Storm. But if you chose Possibility Storm, it'd taken me a long time before I could have answered it and got Possibility Storm off. Again, just friendly reminding him that he can't play it because it's the second spell. And he's probably going to quit here because this is what he did last time. He might have to do it again. Some people, it takes a while for them to really grasp what's going on and to understand how the combo works. Other people, you tell them that once and they're like, oh, he's got me locked. Okay, good game. And, you know, some of them will stick it out, some of them won't. You know, the other thing that I find really interesting is how low his time clock is for playing compared to mine. And a lot of that might be because I'm not playing typical cards, and so he's having to really read and look at a lot of the cards that I'm playing and try to understand them. And there's the concession. We're about to have downtime, but after downtime, I'll try to throw some more up. And stay tuned, and we'll put some more up.